Mr. Speaker, let me address this. Political, economical, fiscal, and law or legal structures in this country that needs a lot of reform. We have to fix this house. For instance, I was a leader of opposition on the other side, the honorable member for Bougainville Green, Belnama City. It's a good place. It's not a bad place. And some of our colleagues were on this side. And I experienced this. That this house democracy, we need to restructure to make this house become more effective and efficient in its decision making. For example, on the budget, any government that comes into office, there is a number, just bulldoze the budget, the opposition is useless. Whatever the opposition says is never carried. There's no upper layer of government to look at this, or the legislation, or the laws. We should have a upper house and a lower house. Bicameral system. Let's restructure the law. Restructure this house so you get more check and balance system. A bicameral system would be a better system to look at this kind of laws. You ratify in the lower house, or you make a law at the lower house, then you have the upper house to look at the laws that have been made, like for in this case, the ratification as per the Constitution that the Prime Minister stated here. We should be doing something like that. It could be something very typical to Papua New Guinea. You look at your committee system in the parliament. The committee system doesn't work. But the committee system should be the most powerful. Every minister to report to the committee. The committee on infrastructure, the committee on health, the committee on finance and accounting, the committee on work should be the most powerful committee in the parliament so that every minister reports to the committee so there's a check and balance. We have to restructure our political structure in our system. The way we're going, it is, well, we have learned enough that we have not isolated most of the problems that we have seen perpetuating in this country. We need to have a structure that is completely different. Now look at all your public servants too. We have many, many public service bodies just performing the same function. For example, the Public Service Commission, the Department of Personal Management. You look at your petroleum sector, you've got the National Gas Corporation, then you've got the Petromin, then you've got Kumul Petroleum, and so forth. So you've so many bodies that are just doing the same job. And you look at the operational cost to it, your recurrent expenditure, it is so high. So therefore, you cannot satisfy the development programs of government. So to really addressing such issues, we have to put in check and balance the systems in place. We need to encourage good governance, accountability. We have to stand up for what is right, continue to strengthen the systems of governance we have, cut down the excessive expenditure on those areas that are not necessary. Government policies are very important. We must be consistent through the next 20, 30 years, and then you will find addressing issues like the Bougainville peace agreement. This process will be much easier for this house to address them. That we announce so many things in this array, even compounded by the culture that we live in, that our people even want us to go and give them money for bride prizes and money for this and that. You find a member is packed up with all these things. I even think, Mr. Speaker, that we should have positions created in the electorates in Papua New Guinea for those members who will only be responsible for looking at national issues. So those guys, or those men, women on this floor parliament who become ministers under any government, their electorate is only to address national issues, and they're the ones who are the ministers. You know, now a minister, a member for Kandep becomes a minister, he's a member for Kandep, he's chairman of the KDDA, he's also this and that. Man, it's overloaded so much work, you'll never get done. That's why the other country leaders, they do better than us. We do not seem to understand issues. We don't seem to understand how we should function. We don't even know our jobs well. All the members of parliament think that their job is to go and give checks to the villagers and go and cut ribbons. And that's not our job. We are legislators. We have to restructure ourselves to change first. There's ministers come from electorates. We call them minister electorates. So they address national issues. They're very important. See, those issues are very important, and within our structures, if we change them and align to providing services and quality service to our people on the ground, you'll not see another Bougainville. Because the government and this parliament is properly positioned, properly structured. Therefore, the culture on the ground would be good. Then you find translation of policies and service down to the ground level will be effective and efficient. Therefore, people will be happy. Bougainvilleans, they went to war because they were not happy because somebody was cheating them. Somebody was deceiving them. Somebody was not listening to them. Because these issues at the top level, structural issues, cultural issues, we need to address them. So those three areas probably, they play a major role, not just in Bougainville, but also in the rest of the country. To finish off, let me say, Bougainville is Papua New Guinea. It's part of Papua New Guinea. We must not talk of independence yet. The agreement there is a peace agreement, it's a peace process. It is not a self-determination agreement, neither is it a self-determination process. It is a peace agreement. Let's look at how do we empower, build capability, how do we address the ratification issue within the context of law, and how do we structure ourselves as Papua New Guineans to change the culture so we administer and govern properly, and you will cut down and diffuse any other people who might be dissatisfied in future, I mean in terms of our provinces and districts and our regions. Thank you very much, David Speaker.